this Sunday, political bloggers focused on Biden, and the reactions are running the gamut. Predictably, many conservatives are very critical of the choice. Pezman Yusufzadeh writes on redstate.com, and I hope I said his name right, or her name right, Barack Obama decided to undermine his message of change by going ahead and picking a vice presidential candidate who spent 35 years in the United States Senate and really hasn't had any meaningful experience outside the United States Senate for the whole of his working life. Then on the left, Daily Cause blogger DC Prof writes, I don't know who McCain can pick who has the foreign policy chops to go up against Biden, who is not either massively wealthy or someone who would undermine one of McCain's other themes. Well, joining us right now, two guests from the blog world. Peter Slutsky is the co-host of Doublespeak. That is an online radio show at doublespeakshow.com. And Matt Lewis is a contributing writer with townhall.com. Hello, guys. Good to see you both.
Good to see you. Hey,
Matt, I'll begin with you. What is the consensus of the conservative bloggers on the Biden pick overall?
Well, I think most of us like Joe Biden personally, and it's quite, I sort of, the kid in me enjoyed seeing a guy who spent his career, attempting to sort of reach this goal, attain it. But I clearly think, and most bloggers, I think, on the right believe that this was a defensive choice, not something that Barack Obama wanted to make, but it was a pick that was thrust on him sort of by the environment. And if you look at what's happened in the last month, John McCain is surging in the polls. Then we had, Russia's invasion of Georgia. Clearly, Barack Obama would have preferred to double down on the change message, but it looks like he was forced to pick a Washington insider. And I'm not sure what the young sort of liberals who are excited about the change message are going to think about it.
Okay, Peter, let's get that question posed to you. What's your take on Biden? What do you think the young liberals are going to think about this person who doesn't exactly bring the concept of change to the ticket?
I like Biden. I think Biden is, an experienced hand in our party. He brings, a breadth of experience to the ticket. And, the Republicans, Barack Obama could have nominated Michael Phelps with 8 golds around his neck, and we'd still be attacked. This is a tactic, and Barack Obama gets attacked for being, too good a speaker, for getting too many people to come see him, for garnering too much excitement. So the fact that Joe Biden brings too much experience to the ticket, I think it's just false. I'm very excited about Joe Biden.
Okay, Matt, I'm curious about your role overall as a political blogger. How do you see it, and how, if at all, is it similar to reporting for the mainstream media, or do your objectives differ completely from the mainstream and you just get it out there?
It's actually quite an interesting job. I mean, for one thing, I've tried to be very hard on the McCain campaign. I've tried to ask them tough questions that they probably, and I can only imagine, they've been great. They've allowed me to continue asking them tough questions. But I'm sure they're thinking, hey, this is a conservative, townhall.com is a conservative website. These should be our friends. They should simply be pushing our message. And yet they're asking us questions about, like yesterday I was on a conference call with RNC Deputy Chairman Frank Donatelli, who's a great guy, and I asked him point blank if there was a story that the RNC had encouraged John McCain to not pick a pro-choice VP. He decided not to dwell on that question, and I'm sure they would have preferred that I ask him a question about how horrible Joe Biden is. So it's interesting. I mean, our job is to report the news. My loyalty ultimately, is to the townhall.com readers to try to bring them breaking news, but certainly we come to it from a conservative perspective. So it's quite an interesting gig, and frankly, in some ways, it's probably more challenging than being a traditional journalist.
And Peter, I'm curious because it sure seems to me like bloggers are playing a much larger role this election as compared to the last time around. Do you agree with that? And if so, why is that? What's the appeal?
Well, I absolutely agree with it. I think that the appeal of the new media, of bloggers alike, has increased. And if you just take a look at the convention here, 4 years ago, you didn't see as many bloggers. And I'm one of the lucky folks who's been fully credentialed to cover the convention for my site and for some other sites. And the reason is because bloggers give an alternate view of the news, and we're also there to keep the mainstream press in check, which we oftentimes enjoy doing. And I agree with Matt that the role of bloggers in the political process is growing. And in 4 years from now, who knows? We might be sitting up on the lectern with the candidate.
All right. So in other words, you guys enjoy kind of, I don't know, correcting the likes of me. Is that what you're trying to say? Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Sorry, Alex.
Yeah, it's all right. I can deal. Peter Slutsky and Matt Lewis, gentlemen, thank you so much. Have fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
141 passengers aboard